There it is.
Um, shall we officially
Whoa.
start? We don't have to. We can talk the whole hour. We're here. Sometimes socializing is medicine, you know?
It is. It is.
Um, well, I'm glad to hear you're all well. Um, and all pain-free. Yay! Um, so here's the deal. We're gonna have a squat where squats will be our main style of lifting today or movement today. We will have other movements as well, but that's what we're gonna be focusing on. We have, we're gonna start with three sets of 8 per side lateral lunges. Very similar to your Cossack squat, which we've done the last few weeks, but it's just slightly different. So this is what I'll show you the difference, but it's subtle. From there, 8 push-ups into a down dog, assisted as needed. That down dog's a stretch, right? So just getting a nice overhead stretch, hamstrings, calves, all the good stuff. Um, we're doing that 3 times through. So 8 per side lateral lunges, and then 8 push-ups in a down dog. After that, we're going to do an every minute on the minute like we did last week. Where you do 5 squats, body weight, so no weight, right? Weights in hand, barbell, dumbbells, kettlebell, whatever you want, okay? 5 squats into a 5-second squat hold. If that 5 seconds on the 5th squat feels a little spicy, maybe reduce the time. Yeah, 3 seconds. But we're just holding the bottom of that squat a little bit longer. That's pretty straightforward. We're gonna do that for 8 total rounds. And then finally, we have 3 times through 12 glute bridges. That's up from 10 last week. 12 bird dogs. And then I have 2 options for the final movement. We have weighted and unweighted. Weighted is 8 per side bent over rows. Okay. If you don't have weights or weighting the shoulder and the lats are not appropriate for you, we can do bent over W's, which we've done a couple. I called it something different last time, but essentially it's an upper back shoulder stabilizer with no weight or very little weight. So all plenty of options. So adjust as needed as usual, based on upcoming events. But in the meantime, let's get warmed up and moving around. We're gonna start with the cat cows as usual. And plus or minus a few is fine. Taking your time for these 10 reps. If you finish them before I do, we're going into bird dogs after this. The bird dogs, you start with that foot down, but squeezed, then lift the leg, even if it means keeping both hands on the floor. Here, let's get these guys. We can, yeah, do that 90s too, but I figure if staying in tabletop position, we can do our rotation. That's okay. You could do the 90-90s first, Meg. That's fine. I figured since we're already in tabletop, might as well. 3 to 5 per direction. And you can be as rotationally restricted as needed. So if rotating in general is a no, you could just avoid this for now. Good. Yeah, no, we'll go these guys. And yeah, leaning forward is an option. We're kind of staying back and upright if that feels a little better. So depending on what's going on today. Right. Beautiful. Let's come back either to a kneeling position or standing. We're doing an arm circle. So just as much as you need room to swing your arms around. I'm going to stay kneeling, but standing is an option as well. The usual business here. Thumbs up, T-shape, start small. Gradually make it bigger. After 10-1 direction, start around 90 degrees or a little lower if that needs to be a little easier. Opposite direction. There you go. Yeah, I know it's a little like, whoo, toasty. Just go easy arm swing. Just gonna swing the arms forward and back. This one's really passive. I'm not really doing much with this. I imagine like a toddler swinging their arms around. They're just kind of letting them hang. You make swings rotation. I'm gonna be a little cautious with that one, but you can do the rotation if you'd like. Okay, and then last but not least, yeah, a little jig. No. Dancing is optional, not required. Let's go thumbs down. Final one. You have 10-1 direction. Again, this one can be a little bit necky. So if you need to keep the hands down around 45 degrees, excuse me, it kind of gives you some breathing room before we get into that upper shoulder, potentially a little trap, because we do need that to get the hands up and over the shoulder. So it's okay if that needs to be limited. Beautiful. So let's talk about these lateral lunges, okay? So you've been doing Cossack squats, where the feet, I'm going to show you my hips here. This is where it's more necessary. So typically, it's too much. So we've been doing this, right? We've been going squatting, right? 8 to 10 reps, right? Been squatting to this leg. So instead of that, what we're going to do is step to that side, but hit the same shape. So I'm going to step, squat or lunge, step back. That's one. Step, if you want to bring this opposite hand towards the leg, you don't have to actually touch or rotate. But if I imagine kind of, right. So with weight, potentially, looks something like this. So instead of that opposite hand, I have a dumbbell in my hand. I'm going to go to my right. Okay. My feet are athletic stance, hip shoulder width. I'm going to step to my right and then come back up. Okay. From the side, so I'm going to step towards you now. My torso is still fairly upright, so I'm going to step towards the camera. Right, but I'm still kind of balanced over my hip and my foot. So weight here is an option. It's not required, but what we are going to be doing is 8 per side. Okay, let's try that. See how that feels. If you want to go unweighted first, that's fine. If you would like to add weight off the bat, start light, and then you can always add. Yeah. That weight should never cross the foot. It kind of stays like foot weight, kind of they stay together. Yep, and then you switch hands when you switch legs. Just saying balance. You can think Cossack squat, that shape that you were touching before. But this is a slightly more dynamic, right? Because you're stepping into this one, not starting in that wide stance. You can always go back to Cossack squat. That feels better. Beautiful. Followed by 8 push-ups into a down dog. We've modified push-ups for ages now, so modify as needed. The down dog element is the hips above the head, a nice stretch. Whatever feels good. So the push-up part only use my knees because I want to. My butt squeezed. And the down dog. This nice stretch. Calf pump is nice, right? Back to that plank. Knees are welcome. Keep the shoulders behind the pecs, not in front. We're doing this 8 times. So part active push-up, but also a really nice stretch, right? Whatever that needs to be, but be gentle to start. That's 8 reps on that. And you've officially completed round 1. We're doing 2 more at your own pace. So to reiterate, your lateral lunges can be weighted or unweighted. If that's not feeling great, the stepping out part, stay in your wide stance and do a Cossack squat instead. Yeah. How are your toes, Meg? Okay.
Like the 8th push-up, it's like, oh, it's a little toey.
Yeah.
But it takes it takes a while, you know?
Okay. If the down dog part's the toey part, you can just, cross that foot over.
Yeah.
Take it out.
It's getting stronger, you know what I mean? Sometimes just gets a little like, okay, that's enough.
Cool. And when it says that, you can just
Yeah.
Good. Nice job with those lateral lunges. I'm sure there's another name for them, but who knows? I relearned how to do a glute bridge this week, which is interesting. Who knew they were so complicated?
So many ways to do them too.
Yeah. Well, it turns out when your butt doesn't work, a glute bridge is kind of hard to do.
Yeah. Especially single leg glute bridges that
I
you
couldn't do a single leg version.
like, oh,
Mm,
one of my glutes is doing all the work here.
exactly. Well, actually, it was my glute and then my TFL and my other stuff. So interesting. Just other muscles were taking over.
Yep.
You could take your time with these, even between reps. If you need to take a break on the push-up sign, the down dog can be kind of extended. That feels really nice. If you want to add an up dog, I'm fine with that. Just make sure you come back to a plank shape.
Oh yeah.
But the up dog is definitely a bonus, right? So if it's an extension, that chest up position feels a little spicy. Good. Then we have our final round of our lateral lunge steps. Yeah. Just curious, Meg, what size tires do you have on your gravel bike?
45s.
Yeah.
I just upped them because
For what? What were they
well,
before?
I had 32s because that's when I had my road converted to a gravel bike. That was the max clearance it would take.
Yeah.
A lot of gravel races now will have in the comments that they recommend recommended 40. So
Okay. Okay, interesting. That's helpful, actually. I'm glad that they recommend a general tire size.
Yeah, I was just talking about this about a gravel race that's in August, and someone was like, "Can I do this with 32s?" And someone was like, "Yeah, but the race says suggest 40."
Mm, that
So
might be like for some people who find, especially I would say mountain bikers or people in particular cyclocross, whatever,
yeah,
they already come from a pretty high skill bike handling background. Gravel can be kind of boring,
yeah,
for their taste, which is definitely not me, just to be clear.
yeah. Oh no,
But
um,
for them, it makes it more fun because they're like, oh, it's a challenge, right? A good challenge. Whereas like if you go from road cycling or not huge amount of like bike handling skills, yeah, one more side of the push-up down dogs, Teresa. Um, you're sort of in this camp of like, I need comfy and stable, right? Before I get more challenging and the terrain gets more challenging. So for some people at 32 might be like, heck yeah, that's fun. And but the race organizer is not going to suggest that for everybody because
safety.
safety and liability. So they're like, we suggested this, you want 32s, that's fine, you chose that. I asked because my gravel bike only can take up to 42 mil. I'm like, oh.
Then I would put 40s or something on there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well, it's rated to 42, like as in DT Swiss and Canyon are like, this is it. You can't go bigger.
Yeah. I
But
would go as big as you can, but I like to leave a little room for clearance because I'll tell you, I had a tire that got a bubble in it, and it then scraped the frame a little bit.
yeah. Or any debris, right? Anything that's stuck, right?
Yeah. So you want a little bit of clearance, but I wouldn't necessarily go your max, but I would go as close as you can. Makes a big difference. That race I did in Nebraska was the first I did on the 45s, and I will say that it sucked on the pavement a little bit compared to other people who are running small tires, but on the on the hills and the crunchy climbs, like we had some crunchy, short, punchy things. I was really glad I had those tires. That they probably kept me from having to put my foot down, which is not a bad thing to put your foot down in a gravel race, but
No, but it's nice if you don't have to.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's a first generation Grail, so which is why the tire clearance is so small.
yeah.
Which has served me okay so far, but I'm like, my brain's like a new bike.
I would say when you get
I need
uh,
to slow my roll on the new bike, but my brain's like, well, what if I got another bike?
but
Experience.
all I was gonna say is, oh, when you get new tires, get bigger tires.
Well, I have a friend selling her open, so I'm like,
Oh,
and we're about the same size, and I'm like, okay. Uh, we'll see. We'll see. It's not a wise purchase right now, but it is highly tempting. Um, so we digress. Let's talk about squatting, shall we? We have every minute on the minute. I'll count you guys in for these guys, but if you're doing this on your own, just you can use your own clock. 5 squats. You can do a single weight, goblet style, right? Front squat, back squat, however you like to load the squat. It's fine by me as long as you're pain-free. You're doing 5 reps. At the bottom of your fifth rep, standing up quick. Bottom of your fifth rep, you're gonna hold it. So I've done my 5 reps, right? Weight in hand is fine. 1, right? I get to 5. You're gonna hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. If that 5 seconds is too long, okay, reduce it 3 seconds, but just time under tension. If you can hold the weight higher up on your body, so like as opposed to like by your waist, that's going to be a little more challenging for the trunk and not necessarily in a bad way. If you need to do this body weight, that's also fine. Let me go ahead and get a timer rolling. Starting your squats in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. You should have plenty of rest. Putting weights down. Again, you can have 2 weights if you prefer to. Yeah. 5-second hold, nice and active, and then stand back up. Good. Yeah. Mean.
Woohoo!
Only doing that once. Arisa, have you already done the hold yet? You're only doing that once per minute. So you're resting right now. You're working too hard. I mean, don't rest, but you know.
I don't think you have time for a nap, but
Not a nap. No napping. Actually, that's not true. It's your time. Nap if you want, but that's not what I intended. You have 10 seconds till your second interval. 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. Nice job. That 5-second hold will be obviously on your own count. I can't count multiple people's holds. I'd love to hear your like like just a recording of what your day-to-day sounds like, Meg. Constantly singing, I imagine. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Ever seen those videos of like 5-year-olds narrating their own like ski runs and stuff?
Yes.
That's what my day sounds like. Thank you.
That's adorable. It's also one of my favorite things. I think someone mic'd their, she was on 4 or 5, and like mic'd her mountain biking. And she was like, you can do it. You're doing great. And was like, just like hyping herself up the whole time. And I was like, stop it.
That is my whole day, man.
That's amazing. I was like, that is so much fun.
Usually like bike rides are like, oh shit. Oh, another hill. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
this is bad. You got this. You've done worse than this. Come on. Oh, come on. One more push over the top. Let's go. What it sounds like.
I love it.
I'm
That's,
such in my head, and sometimes, many times, they're audible.
that's okay.
That when people pass me on bikes, they're like, "Who is that fucking lady talking to?"
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're getting shit done. That's what's happening. No, I like biking, but it's the one time my brain isn't doing anything.
So sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'm like,
Like I'm just in the moment. I'm like, okay, I'm pedaling. Hey, there's a flower. Oh, look, there's a tree. Oh, I'm doing this. Like I'm not thinking about.
why do I never see moose on this ride? Other people see moose. This is not fair that I don't see the moose.
I
Where's
don't
the
want to see moose. Moose. They are extraordinarily aggressive and territorial.
moose?
Don't want to see them. They'll charge you.
Dude, I had a bull on my gravel race in the road, 800-pound thing. I was
That's
more worried about that charging me than a moose in the trees in the distance.
they're both pretty territorial. Also, moose have longer legs. My theory is they go faster, but who knows? I haven't tested that theory. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. This is set 5 of 8. Good. So whatever full depth is, if you can get hip crease at parallel or below, great. If that is something that you have not done yet or you're not able to do, low as you can, well. Good. Stay braced in that bottom position. You're still breathing. I'm doing a 5-second breath hold.
Those 5 seconds are getting a little more spicy as we go.
It's almost like it feels like time slows down, but not in a fun sort of way. 1, 2, yeah, it's like that.
1,000.
1,000, 1,000. Okay, 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. You're well over halfway, which is always good news. Sit back to your imaginary chair. So don't actually sit to a chair, but sit back, Risa, versus down. Back and down. Yeah. So both were great. The first version you were doing is a little quaddy and a little knee heavy. Second version is more hamstring and butt, but they're both great. I just wanted to separate those two ideas. Yeah. So cranky knees, sit back. You want to go more quad, you're feeling knees, you're feeling good. a little knee forward position is totally fine. Yeah.
Two more.
Two more.
That's what my day sounds like. Thank you very much. Let's go.
15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. So you can just feel a difference, Teresa, and you can kind of pick and choose how you want to squat there. And sometimes the nature of the position of your weight's going to vary. So whether the dumbbells are higher or behind you. But in this case, typically it's in front or on top. All right.
Elbow pits are sweaty.
For me, it's like elbow pits and knee pits. I'm like, oh, yep, it's hot.
I'm working. That means I'm working.
Yeah, when my knees start to sweat, that's always a good sign. Like my knees. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's hot. Check. 5, 3, 2, 1. Your final set. Yeah, there you go. And whether you know it or not, you're both getting lower. So I think your body's just a little more warmed up. Get chest up, Meg. There you go. Yeah. Good. Just breathing in that bottom position. Yeah. I'm sorry if you're doing sprint work later.
I'm doing sprint work later.
You're doing what?
I'm doing sprint work later.
A little rollout, a little stretching. Will be good.
Yeah, last week when I ran after, I was like, oh my God, my legs are like tree trunks, Jesus. But, and literally on the end of the first one, I was like, there's no way I'm doing 3 more of these. And 3 and 4 were good. But it took 2 rounds for my legs to like open up. So, yeah.
Yeah, it just needs to like shake it out and just like loosen up a little. And then it's usually
Yep.
okay.
I don't have any pace right now goals because, we're still rebuilding. So I just was like, just stay steady, just stay steady. So, yeah. Hey, dude, I'm up to like 45 minutes of running.
That's amazing.
Like there's still some walking. Like the other day I did 10 minutes on, 30 seconds off by 3. So that
Wow.
was, those were longer intervals.
Yeah. And 30 seconds off is just not running, which is
It's freaking nothing. It's not.
anytime you see like a work rest ratio and you're looking at like, how many breaths can I take before I start again? And if it's less than 3,
That's barely a rest.
it's not really, you're just not doing the thing at the same intensity. Which is why Tabata work is like, you're just not working, right? 20 on, 10 off. You're like, you're just not working. You're just, I wouldn't say resting, you're transitioning,
Yeah, exactly.
right? You're just preparing for the next interval.
Okay, glute bridges
Glute
and
bridges. I just really learned how to do this. I'm not going to go into the details, but apparently you need your butt to do glute bridges. Shocking. Who would have thunk? So So all joking aside, here's the deal. We have 3 times through 12 glute bridges, 12 bird dogs, and 8 per side. I'll talk about the bent over rows or W's in a second. The glute bridges, you want to have your butt squeezed before lifting your butt, not while lifting your butt, which I think is the biggest difference that I figured out. So ultimately, whether you're right, I'm not doing single leg, you could do single leg, but squeeze your butt first and both butt cheeks, as it turns out. It's very helpful. So you want to do your brace first. So belly is brace, right? Squeeze your butt. If you need to put your hands on your butt, that's okay, right? Squeeze them, then lift, right? And it's okay that range of motion is limited. I don't want that hip. I don't need you to push anything you can't manage. So if you're not hip in line with the knee, that's fine. Right? 12. Squeeze your butt, then lift your hips. Going as far as that hip. My hips are not opening all the way. That's fine. Butt squeezed before you lift. Repeating that 12 times. I'm going to just hand here because that feels Movement 2 will be bird dog. So you just need a tabletop position. So you're going to still be on the floor. Okay. We do these in the warm up all the time. So pretty much, and this is 12 total, not 12 per side for clarification. And we're just going to do the same thing, right? Extend the foot, squeeze the butt first. You can even drive into that leg if it helps. And then lift. Alternating your reps is fine. 6 per side. Or 12 total. Depends on how I like to count. So our two options for our third and final movement. We have 8 per side bent over rows. If the weights you have are not enough, that's okay. We can add a pause. If they're enough, we don't need a pause. This is the equipment, or I say not equipment, the weighted version with no extra equipment is going to be, so I have my right hand weighted, left hand just on my knee, elbows, fine, whatever. I'm supporting with this guy, right? From here, this leg's out of the way. Just on my shoulder, excuse me, wrong body part. Yep. And you're gonna think that keeping the shoulder back, chest is open, a nice and open chest. I'm gonna pull my elbow back towards my hip. Yeah. Breathing in as you come down. Exhaling to pull back. Big squeeze through here. Yeah. So Megan or you can continue. But for those of you without weights, or maybe who don't find weighting as an option, right? A slight hinge, if hinging feels okay, hip back. Again, same idea, open up the chest. I have using my both arms here. Pull my elbow back. So palm faces or top of my hand faces the outside of the room. I could bring my palms, hands up to the ceiling, and then back. So I'm thinking of squeezing, shoulders together, chin is touched to the chest, hands up. So this is a similar muscle group. We're just unweighted here. Beautiful. Let's start that all over again. 2 more times, starting with 12 glute bridges. I would get 42 mil tires, Meg, but they're not in stock anywhere.
Well, 42s are unusual. Usually get like 40, 43.
Yeah. They also, I think, depends on the
Brand.
tire and rim combination too. Sometimes they get a little fatter.
Santa Races Gravel Kings, SK1s. That's what I have. I love them.
I had them, but I got the wrong size because I'm a genius. So I returned them. Thankfully, they took them back. I mean, they're fully unused. And then, but they don't have any of that size right now. So.
Teresa's like, what the hell are we doing? It's called Meg didn't count, so she just kept going.
12 bird dogs.
No, I thought maybe did I undercount? What was I doing?
You're getting faster, Arisa. I'm kidding. I don't know if you're getting faster. I cannot confirm that if that's true or not. But and your third movement is your bent over rows or W's. I'm sure there's another name for those, but that's kind of what I call them anyway. Rotation is welcome, but not required. Yeah. So you're doing fine, Meg, there, but if you're rotating on purpose, great. If not, it's an option. So also pull the elbow back towards the hip a little bit versus up. Yeah. So rotation's fine. but elbow towards the hip a little. So yeah. If you have a bench or a sofa, you could put your hand on the edge of that too. For a little more support. For anyone with like a full-on bench, like not that you can pull that out, Meg, but if you wanted to use a full bench, knee and hand on bench is fine too. Final set of everything.
I did a massive barbell set the other day. I am not talking to my bench right now.
It's okay.
Tomorrow we'll be
Are
friends.
you guys in a fight?
I had had enough of her.
Okay.
It was the barbell set. I was like, oh my God.
Were you bench pressing or pulling?
It was on the tonal, but yeah. Yeah. And chin up pull downs and it was
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, my shoulders were toast after.
I mean, that'll do it. Brace first, squeeze your butt, then lift your hips. You, of course, can put pressure to the feet. That is, I think, implied here, but I'll say just in case. "12-ish." It's okay if you sort of don't worry about Meg counting or not. I don't know if Meg's counting.
I'm counting.
Arisa's looking at you like, is she done yet? Is she done yet? Is she done yet?
I'm telling you, glute bridges and bird dogs are things to not rush through because they're small movements. But I take my time because they get more out of them if I take my time.
Yeah, especially with the bird dogs. Those are not these. I think I'm glad you mentioned that.
You need to like throw your hips around for these, and then you're not necessarily getting the.
Yeah, it's a bit like if you think that certain yoga poses, right, are done or held, like end range positions are held on purpose, right?
Yeah.
This is the same principle. We're finding an end range position of some kind, right? And we're not holding, but we're doing it under distinct control. Yeah. Same thing like any sort of gymnastics movements that isn't dynamic. The slower you do them, generally the better versus the faster. Beautiful. Final set of rows or W's for those doing unweighted. Yeah, you can find whatever feels best support-wise. If you have the edge of that sofa, Risa, you could put your hand on the sofa. Up to you. You know, whatever feels best. Yeah. A tabletop is fine if it's the correct height. Unlikely, but anyone dealing with wrist issues, as in compressing the wrist, you can put your forearm on the edge of a soft edge of a sofa, you know? So you're not loading the wrist. Keep the chest up a little bit, Arisa. Chest up. Yeah, there you go. I imagine I'm like a male gorilla, and I'm just like, yeah. I also imagine I'm equally as big, even though that's not even close to true. Like this. Nice work.
Visualizing.
But I mean, everyone knows like a male gorilla. They're just like, no, there's no male gorilla. It's just like, oh, look at me. They're all, even if they're the little guy, they're like, ah, huge. You know, there's like false sense of bravado, right? So that position, that posturing is very similar. Yeah. Maybe not this part, but this part. Nice work. How was that? Feel okay?
Good.
Yep.
Always good.
I'll let you know after my run. Ha ha ha.
Well,
It'll be fun.
be great. It's gonna be so good. I think I've shared the story already, but I had a client. She's since moved. She's lovely, but her daughter was 18 months, and would say, "Good job, arms. Good job, legs," and just like tell her body parts, "Good job." So good job, arms. Good job, legs. Yay!
We're adding that on climbs when you get to the top. Good job, legs.
Good job, legs. Excellent. Well, thank you for showing up today. I hope you all have a
today, Coach.
What was that?
Thank you for showing up today, Coach. And I'm glad you're on the mend.
Yeah.
Being pain-free is, I appreciate the experience. I don't think I would do it again if I could help it, but I think having a little more empathy for my clients who experience back pain. I'm like, cool.
Yep.
All back pain's not the same, but it's good to have that, like, oh, great. So is pain sharp or dull? Can we tolerate this? Do we like this? And sort of just a reminder, right?